Sitting in on trials now, you're listening for the beats, like you mentioned earlier, like the drum beats. Are you actually like listening to the content of the trial? Because sometimes there can be some trials that may be a challenge to hear the material that you're having to. How do you overlook that and just pay attention to the reporting of it? Do you ever get lost in that, like listening to what's being said, or how do you?
I guess you could look at it as we're professional listeners, and so we've learned how to tune all of that out.
Okay.
A lot of times when you're writing in court or in a deposition, you may not even be focused on what is being said. You're just listening to the sounds. You may even be doing your grocery list in your mind.
Okay.
So you're not truly vested in exactly what's being said, because we even have to like tune out our own emotions as to what we're hearing, because there are some occasions you're going to hear things that may make the normal person, emotional about things, and so you have to, suppress all of those feelings, because you can't show your emotions in a jury trial because you don't want to sway the jury a different way. So you just have to suppress all of that. So you're really not truly listening to every single thing that's said.
You're just trying to listen for the sounds and the beat of the words, not the. Yeah, because I could imagine you're sitting in on some pretty intense cases with some pretty heavy content. And so you just kind of learn how to tune that out. How do you do that? Do you work on that in classes? Is there a class of how to tune things out?
It just clicks at some point. You practice so much, and sometimes when it clicks with the students, they'll write a 5-minute unfamiliar dictation, and when it's over, they'll laugh and say, "I couldn't tell you what I just wrote, what that was about," but they'll have every word of it.
Well, there you
so
go.
At some point, your brain, like I said earlier, the muscle memory, you learn to just kind of tune out what you're hearing, but get the sounds and the words.
Yeah. Wow.
The cases we do in the moot court class that Brooke mentioned a moment ago are real cases, and so we have reporters send us cases that may have some shocking material in it that the students need to be exposed to. So they are being exposed to real live cases even while they're in school.
Yeah, because you don't want the shock to happen when you're in there. You're right. I didn't even think about that. The court reporter, you have to keep just a very neutral face because, like you said, you don't want to sway the jury one way or the other.
And if we know that there's a case locally being tried, we've taken the class as a whole to sit in on that to, kind of help them be exposed to different things that they may hear.
Yeah, I can imagine exposure is super important. Well, it's time we take another quick break. We've got so many more things to talk about. So stay tuned. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24. We will be right back.
I'm Alan Parnell with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance. At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gadsden or Oxford.
Hello, I'm Taylor Sloan with the City of Oxford, with a word about one of our city's most precious resources, water. Clean water enriches our lives in so many ways, but we cannot afford to take it for granted. Remember, every time you pour something unnatural down the drain or in the environment, and every time you litter, our beautiful lakes and creeks suffer. Our city is beautiful. Let's all join together to keep it that way. Stop pollution where it starts, and help protect our waters for life.
I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News Update. 55-year-old Jonathan Lanier Bradbury died from gunshot wounds while he was driving on Interstate 65 in Birmingham late Wednesday night. The incident occurred just before 11 o'clock p.m. on I-65 northbound, just past the 32nd Avenue exit. North Precinct officers were originally dispatched to a report of a single vehicle crash. While they were en route, they were alerted that a motorist had been shot. Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service transported Bradbury to UAB Hospital, but unfortunately he died shortly after. Sergeant Laquita Wade said that road crews currently paving I-65 southbound in that area heard the shots and then the crash, but that they did not see anything. 2 shell casings could be seen in the roadway at the 32nd Avenue exit. Per AL.com, it wasn't immediately clear if there were more shell casings further up the interstate. Bradbury traveled at least 100 yards before crashing into the concrete median. Wade said that it's too soon to know if Bradbury was targeted. She said, "At this time, we have no idea what could have happened here on the interstate. Anyone with information is asked to call homicide detectives at 205-254-1764 or Crime Stoppers at 205-254-7777. For more news stories like these, plus weather with Justin Beal and sports, tune in tonight to the TV 24 News. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Welcome back and rise and shine, everyone. It's 8 o'clock on your Thursday morning, July the 18th, and we are talking about court reporting. There is a program at Gadsden State, court reporting, the only accredited program in Alabama. And so talking with us today, Michelle Roberts, she is the instructor and director of the court reporting program, and Brooke Davis, the technician enrollment specialist. So let's dive back in. We've been learning all things court reporting and what a high demand the jobs are. So if you are looking to start your career, to further your career, to change your career, then definitely explore the opportunity of court reporting, because there's a need for it and there's a program right here. And so a lot of, like you said, students come in from other states to learn this, and so we have it right here. We're very fortunate. And the campus where you are, that's in Gadsden, right? So
yes.
You're actually at the Gadsden campus,
Correct.
the East Broad.
Yes, we're on the technical campus.
The technical campus there. What a great campus that is, too. And so when we went to break, we were, of course, talking about, what do we say, the emotion, putting aside the emotional part of it and how you do so. But how oftentimes when you're reporting on it, you're not really letting that material sink in. You're just trying to make sure that you're very accurate on capturing everything that is there. So with this program, we've talked a lot about it, but it's more than just court reporting. You actually have a very broad opportunity for students, and so like broadcast captioning and something that you've mentioned, CART. So I want to learn more about that. So you want to let us know about CART, Brooke?
Yes, CART providing is where you go into classes with deaf students and you take down everything their professor or their instructor is saying, and that student will have an iPad or a laptop, and they're able to follow along with the courses that they need to take.
Wow.
Yes, and so with CART providing, it also can help students that achieve a degree that maybe they wouldn't have been able to take that class if they didn't have that offered. Mm-hmm. And every college has to make that available to students.
Wow. There's a lot of opportunity
Yes.
in that. And then with broadcast capturing as well. Tell me a little bit more about that.
In 2006, there was a law that was passed that all broadcast that happens on TV has to be captioned. And so that has afforded a lot of court reporters to work from home. And so they cable out or send their information or their feed to the broadcast captioning stations, and so it pops out on your screen at home. And so that's how a lot of it happens. So a lot of people see the errors on the screen. Well, that's because someone is at home actually writing on their machine and it popping up on your screen at home.
Wow, how neat is that? Technology, it's advancing, and I know that's probably a question that you get asked a lot, is with the advancement in technology and AI, how do you see that in the future? Do you find that going to affect these programs?
I feel like we use technology to our advantage. We try to stay up to date on all the latest technology. We go to conferences so that we can be educated on that. And I feel like court reporting has really used that to advance. I know during COVID, Zoom depositions, attorneys and court reporters really took advantage of Zoom, and it created more work for court reporters. And with technology, whenever I'm recruiting, I always ask students if they use voice to text and how you're trying to speak clearly, you're trying to speak slowly, and it still gets words wrong. And that's kind of our security blanket that in court we talked about earlier, the different accents, the way that people mispronounce words, and they also talk over each other. You know, things get heated, they interrupt each other. And so without having a person there who is trained to get every word that can interrupt and ask them to speak one at a time, you're not going to get an accurate transcript. And they have used AI in different courts and in different cases, and to everyone that we have been told about, it was not successful. I know they've had mistrials using AI, and so I know if I'm on trial for something, I want to know there's a professional there that's trained, that can get every word, and is going to produce the best transcript possible.
Absolutely, me too. Oh gosh, it is so frustrating when I'm trying to talk to text and then I read it back and I'm like, well, that was a jumbled mess. I shouldn't have sent that.
And adding in our Alabama accent too.
Yes, again, even if we try, my words, I'm like, is that what I said? No, but it is. You know, wanna, those words like I wanna tell you. Sometimes that comes out very, it's just all this wrong. So that makes a lot of sense, having someone. So you can actually, in court reporting, if you can't pick up on everything that they're being said, or like in the cases they're talking, you can actually say, can y'all repeat that? Can you repeat this?
Yes, our job is to get every word that's spoken. And so to make an accurate record, it is our job to, if people are talking over each other, or maybe they mumbled something, to ask them to please repeat that, or to please speak one at a time. And judges are wonderful to help kind of keep the courtroom flowing. They know that what our job is there, and they look out for court reporters. But it is our job to get every word, and so sometimes they do have to interject into what is being said and make sure that they're able to get an accurate record.
Yeah.
And in a deposition, you don't have the judge there to help you control it. So you have to be able to control the situation. So you're essentially making sure everything flows properly.
Wow. It's a big task, being a court reporter. You know that there's an importance behind it, but you don't realize the gravity of it, because like you said, there could be a mistrial if something was reported incorrectly, or, there's a lot of weight behind being a court reporter. One of the things in the video that they talked about was freelance and the opportunity to make your own schedules and your own hours in some situations. Can we elaborate on that a little bit? Are there a lot of freelance opportunities available?
I would say majority of a reporter is freelance court reporting, or freelance judicial reporting. Taking depositions is majority of it, which is when you go and work for a court reporting firm. You're a freelance contractor, so they get the job for you, and they give you a time and day, place to be there, and so you show up and take all of the depositions that you're assigned to. And so essentially you're paid that way, and you're paid by page, not just the job. Which is why we can make so much more money, because if a job is 4 hours long, of course there's a lot of pages involved, so you're paid per page.
Per page. Wow, that's incredible. Wow. What made you both get involved in this? That's a question I haven't asked you yet. In court reporting, what got you involved in court reporting, Brooke?
I actually had a scholarship to Gadsden State, and I wanted something that I could leave Gadsden State and have a career. And so I learned about court reporting. Once I heard of court reporting, the more I looked into it, I was completely intrigued, completely interested by it, and so that's kind of what led me in that path.
Wow.
Well, I actually started out in education, which is, kind of funny that now I am in education teaching this, but I started out in education, and so I was spending money on kids working, in the elementary school, being a substitute, filling in. And so I was spending my money on putting shoes on kids or socks or coats or things like that. And so my parents were like, you need to go back to school. This is not going to, afford you a lifestyle that you're probably wanting to have. So I looked into court reporting because I met a court reporter at a very young age. And so I went back to school and finished in court reporting. Little did I know my two worlds would collide and I would teach it. So this is what has brought me to Gadsden State.
How cool is that? That is so neat. Do you ever take jobs yourselves? Do you go and do any freelance, or you get to where you miss it and you got to get in there and do it? Or?
When students come back from internship, or recent graduates come back to visit, sometimes it makes us a little jealous of what they're out doing. But I have 4 boys, so my time is very scarce, and most of my schedule belongs to them and their activities.
Oh yeah.
It's so much work just being at Gadsden State. You really just don't have a lot of extra free time, when you put this much into your students, because it's not just the 9 to 5 job or 8 to 5 job at Gadsden State. I mean, I talk to my students in the evening, on the weekends. We're very vested in their lives, and so I just don't know how I would have time for that anyway.
Yeah.
But
if there was like a high-profile trial that you might be interested in,
I'll send the students.
I would have to be in there. Let's talk about students. I know it's okay not to name any names unless you want to, but let's talk about some success stories with your students. You want to start it off, Brooke?
Of course, the first one that comes to mind, we have a student who, now she's a graduate, who moved over from Mississippi to go to school. She came right out of high school, and when she graduated, she moved back to Mississippi, and they needed a federal court reporter. She was only 20 years old, and the age requirement is 21. So they actually had to get it approved through Washington for her to be a federal reporter, and she is doing really well for herself, to start a career at 21 with full benefits and making 6 figures. I mean, she really is truly what students thrive to. That's their goal whenever they get out, and she is a perfect example of the opportunity they can have.
Wow, yeah, 21, being able to have that opportunity, that's incredible. If there is another success story, I'd love to hear it, but we've got to go to a quick break real quick. When we get back, let's talk a little bit more about some success stories, and I have quite a few more questions. So let's go hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller, and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upper Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
May not believe it, but it's true. The 2024 Team 1 Chevys are here. All 2324 Silverado light duties have 2.9% financing for 72 months. The hottest new 24 Team 1 Chevy Blazer, 1.9% financing and no payments till April. And the #1 selling family vehicle, the Equinox. 24 models. You got it. 1.9% financing and no payments till April. Team 1 Chevrolet, home of the best people, the best service, period.
I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News Update. 55-year-old Jonathan Lanier Bradbury died from gunshot wounds while he was driving on Interstate 65 in Birmingham late Wednesday night. The incident occurred just before 11 o'clock p.m. on I-65 northbound, just past the 32nd Avenue exit. North Precinct officers were originally dispatched to a report of a single vehicle crash. While they were en route, they were alerted that a motorist had been shot. Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service transported Bradbury to UAB Hospital, but unfortunately he died shortly after. Sergeant Laquita Wade said that road crews currently paving I-65 southbound in that area heard the shots and then the crash, but that they did not see anything. 2 shell casings could be seen in the roadway at the 32nd Avenue exit. Per AL.com, it wasn't immediately clear if there were more shell casings further up the interstate. Bradbury traveled at least 100 yards before crashing into the concrete median. Wade said that it's too soon to know if Bradbury was targeted. She said, "At this time, we have no idea what could have happened here on the interstate. Anyone with information is asked to call homicide detectives at 205-254-1764 or Crime Stoppers at 205-254-7777. For more news stories like these, plus weather with Justin Beal and sports, tune in tonight to the TV 24 News. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Rise and shine, everyone, and welcome back. It's 8:17 on your Thursday morning, July 18th, and I've learned so much today about court reporting. You know, that was something I haven't given much thought to, but how interesting is it? And so when we went to break, we heard a great success story, and Michelle has another success story that she would like to share with us.
So when our court reporting program started, there was a grant written, and it was in 1976. Well, actually, the lady that wrote the grant, her granddaughter finished our program as well, and she is a judicial official here in Calhoun County.
How cool is that? Mm-hmm. Wow, so that's 48 years ago that this program has been at Gadsden State. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a long time. Well, it graduated a lot of court reporters.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've learned about enrollment, and of course you can find all that great information at gadstenstate.edu. Just search court reporting, and there's so much information there. Of course, admissions requirements and anything that you need to know is there. Let's go to the future. Are there any future expansions or initiatives, or what is exciting in the future of court reporting at Gadsden State?
Well, right now we've had the opportunity to partner with Wallace Community College in Dothan. Some of the judges and attorneys in the area were seeing the need in South Alabama, so they've reached out to Wallace asking them if there was something that they could help them with at producing court reporters. Well, then Wallace Community College contacted us, and so we're partnering with them and having a satellite program on their campus.
Oh, that's super exciting.
Yes.
I'm sure the campus is very excited and the students too.
Yes.
Wow.
It will be a virtual classroom, so they will be in the classroom at Dothan, and I will be in the classroom in Gadsden.
Oh.
And so they'll have live feed from me. I'll be able to see them. They'll be able to see me. When I write on the board, they'll see it there. And so they'll be able to interact with their classmates in Gadsden as well.
Wow, and that's a new system that you're implementing. Like you said, you were on Blackboard, and now you're on
Canvas.
And so, how's that that been moving over?
Well, we're actually starting that.
We're
this
still
fall.
in the process
so
of that.
You're in the process of, okay, so you're learning some new things.
Correct. So we're always evolving in technology, so we embrace it. So it doesn't scare us. We look for the new things. So we like to pilot things and tackle it full speed ahead.
Yeah, that's one thing I've seen with Gadsden State across all of the different divisions and classes and programs is that, there is that we're leading the way, and that's so amazing to see that happening right here. And so in Dothan, how many students do you have ready for the fall semester?
Well, right now we're still accepting applications for that side of the program, and so we're just in talks with several different individuals right now. We don't have a true number, but we hope to have at least 10. We'd like to have more, but if we can get 10 students down there, that would be great.
Yeah, so if you're watching and you have any family members or anyone who friends that might be interested, that's such a great opportunity for them to be in Gadsden State, but be right there in Dothan. So
we had a recruiting event in Dothan, and we had a really good turnout. We were really excited with the turnout that we had there and the excitement around the program there.
Well, 2 years, and you get to make a journey into a very rewarding career with a high demand. That would make me excited too, especially if I was starting out. So I know Gadsden State also offers a lot of student support services. What type of tutoring or mentoring do you offer for the students enrolled in this program?
Well, the support the students have really are just giving them a criteria or practice regimen on how they need to practice on the machine, giving them a standard, a minimum for it, and they submit all of their work to me daily, and it's reviewed that way. And if I see any issues, then I reach out to them before they have a chance to reach out to me, because that's just how I function, because their success is just as important to me as it is to them. So I don't wait for a student to come to me, I go to them.
Okay, that's great. You have a lot of students to keep up with, but so fall semesters, it's upcoming. I know you're excited, getting geared up. Are applications still being accepted for fall semester?
Yes, they are. The deadline is usually July the 1st, but we always, look at those students, if how much of their classes they've already taken, which you don't have to take any classes to begin the program, but if someone doesn't have any other classes that they can take in the fall, we also will accept them after the date as well. So we just usually have that acceptance date because we have to download software, and there's a lot of moving parts that we have to check those boxes off before they begin in the fall, and just having a deadline allows us to at least get a few completed and then help those that are little stragglers coming in the end.
Yeah, those, okay, I'm not sure what I want to do, but let me try this. Let me try court reporting. How often have you seen someone just kind of, okay, I'll take court reporting just to check it out, and then just be like, oh my goodness, this was the best decision that I've ever made?
Every semester.
Every semester.
Yes, we've had several students who begin the program, they had no idea what they were getting into. I've got 2 in my class right now that feel that way, but they love it. So it's not like any other class that you're in, because most classes you're in are just lecture classes, and you're taking notes. I always tell my students to look at the steno machine as like a fidget spinner, so you're actually doing something in class. You're not just sitting there taking notes, and so it's hands-on the entire time. But that's any technical program that we have. It's all hands-on because it's skill-based.
Which I think I would really enjoy something like that too. And learning something new is always fun, but being able to very much a hands-on type learner. Well, is there anything that we haven't covered today that we don't want to miss telling our viewers? I'm trying to think. We've talked about enrollment, of course, reminded everyone how to get to Gadsden State .edu. You can find so much information there, and I'm sure your contact information, I know it is on there as well. So would you encourage people who have questions to reach out to you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay. And to talk to other students that are in the court reporting class would be really important as well.
Yes, and we offer the opportunity to come sit in on a class, and even to go job shadow with a working reporter. All the reporters that are out working, they're eager to help, educate people on court reporting and what they can do to help, them make that decision into the best career they can do.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun to be able to see it firsthand before you dive right in and make sure that is the correct fit for you. And that's really nice that those reporters will allow them to tag along and check it out. So, Well, I appreciate so much you both waking up early to tell all of our viewers about it. I want to go watch that video one more time, so because there's some really great information, and just in case someone is just now tuning in, let's go watch that video there on court reporting at Gadsden State.
People have been saying that we would be obsolete, and they started telling me that in 1988 when I started court reporting school. And we have just gotten better, and we won't be obsolete. We get better with time.
One of the most important things about court reporting is the fact that we are the guardians of the record. And our ability to be 96, 98 to 100% accurate is the difference.
I've always kind of looked at court reporting as a trade. It's a 2-year degree. You know, you can have less college and still make really good money.
One thing that's really interesting about court reporting is you're able to be your own boss. You can give yourself your own raise when you need to. The more you work, the more you're going to make.
The 2 reasons that I really got into this program is because 1, the independence, and 2, I saw how much money you could make.
I love everything about my career as a court reporter. I've been doing it for 33 years. It has given me plenty of flexibility.
It's been real helpful being a parent to be able to work from home and be with my kids more than being like at a 9 to 5.
If you're interested in coming to the court reporting program at Gadsden State, money should not impact your decision. Our financial aid department is wonderful.
When I came in towards the department, I was able to see all the students writing on their stenographs, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. I'd really love to do that.
We all started out at ground zero, and we really didn't know much.
No matter what, even if they're doing worse than you are, if they're doing better than you are, you can always count on them.
That's something that I'm proud of here. Students become very close with each other because they understand what each one is going through trying to learn how to do this.
There is a big demand for court reporters. There's a shortage in every state.
I'm certified in 2 states, and I could have multiple depositions every day because there's such a demand.
Our students have jobs before they even graduate.
When you graduate from Gadsden State, you're going to have more than a degree and a career. You're going to have a family.
I can't think of anything else that I could do with a 2-year degree that would give me the life that I've had and the profession that I've had. I'm really blessed.
Hey, all right, so 8:27 on your Thursday morning, July 18th. I hope that you have learned a lot this morning. And again, at Gadsden State, there is a lot of opportunity, and court reporting, as we've learned today, is a high demand career. And so if you are looking at court reporting, please check it out. Go to gadsdenstate.edu, or Brooke and Michelle, remind them of how they can get in contact with you.
Our information is on the website. You can email us. My email is brookedavis@gadsdenstate.edu. We're happy to answer any questions and help in any way possible to get you enrolled in our program today.
Yeah.
And I'm Michelle Roberts. You can get in touch with me, mroberts@gadsdenstate.edu.
All right, so if someone was interested in court reporting, what would be one piece of advice that you would start them off with? It's a tough one, huh?
I want it to be good advice.
Yeah.
Just start.
Yeah.
Just don't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, why wait?
Just rip that Band-Aid off.
Just do it. Hey, you might love it. And if you don't, that's okay, because there's more opportunities out there and other programs that you can explore.
Absolutely.
But you don't know unless you give it a try.
That's
so
right.
we're going to encourage you today to do so. Reach out to gadsdenstate.edu, check out all of the amazing programs available, and put court reporting on your list. And so you might just love it. All right, well, ladies, again, thank you so much for joining us. You'll have to come back because I want to see one of the machines, so you'll have to bring me back, or maybe I could come sit in on one of the classes and check it out. And yeah, maybe I'll.
That would be great.
Thank
you for having us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Have a great rest of your day. And same to you. We'll see you back here first thing in the morning on Rise and Shine, Alabama Cares. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again for tuning in. Share this information. All right. See you tomorrow.